There are three things that stop most people going from freelancer to agency owner. And in this video, I'm going to break down exactly what they are and how you can avoid them. Hey, it's Matt Essam here. And over the last 10 years, I've been helping freelancers and agency owners to grow and scale their business in a way that gives them freedom, fulfillment, and financial stability. Today, I want to share with you three blockers that I see consistently getting in the way of people making the transition from freelancer to studio owner or creative agency owner. We're going to dive straight into them. So grab a pen and get ready to take some notes. The first thing that stops most people making that transition is actually their mindset, the way they think about themselves. And I see this even with people that have been running a studio or an agency for a while and have a small team of people. They still think like a freelancer. And this is one of the key things that keeps them really stuck. So let me give you some examples of the way people think about themselves or their business that actually stops them from getting higher value clients and generating more revenue. The first mindset blocker is trying to do everything on their own. So they're so used to being a solopreneur that as soon as something isn't working in their business, they want to jump in and fix it. And so they end up, even though they've got a small team of people, they end up doing everything from the accounts to project management to new business development. And they're still running around a bit like a headless chicken, and they end up burning themselves out. So this idea that we have to do everything ourselves. And it kind of leads to the second thing, which is thinking that they are the best at everything. And so this idea that they're never going to find someone who's as good as they are at the particular thing that they do. So if you're a designer, then the belief is that I'm a really good designer, which you probably are, but I'm never going to be able to afford or find someone that is as good as me. So I'm constantly hand-holding, I'm constantly micro-managing people. And then the final thing around mindset is this idea that we are kind of irreplaceable and that our clients want us. And again, this is one of the things that keep people really stuck because they've been used to building the relationship with the client. They have this belief that the client wants them, and therefore they put themselves in situations that means that the project or the business doesn't run unless they are there. And so to flip these on their head, one of the first things that I see people make a breakthrough on is they stop trying to do everything themselves and they get other people to help them, whether that's just like a part-time consultant, whether that's a freelancer, whatever. They get help and they let go of control and they let go of this idea of trying to have to do everything themselves. So that's the first thing, how we flip that on its head. The second thing is that having the belief or having the idea that we should actually be the most stupid person in our business. We should be the person who is the least skilled and the least intelligent. We should always try and hire up rather than hire down. And this is a very counterintuitive approach because when you're first starting out, people will say things like, well, we just don't have the budget to find the best designers. You'll be very surprised that a lot of people don't just want to work somewhere because of the money, right? So think about all of the things that you could offer someone beyond money that might incentivize them to come and work with you instead of another company. The other thing is, if you feel like you can't afford them, then that's really a problem with your pricing and your revenue as much as it is with anything else. So that's something to work on. How can I charge more money? If I brought this person on, would it then allow me to charge more money or the same? So I'm replacing my income and giving it to them, and then I find other ways to generate revenue for the business. And then the final thing is we don't want to sell us to clients. We want to sell outcomes and we want to sell processes. So we want to really focus on what is it that the client is trying to get done. And when we're having a sales conversation, rather than selling us as a designer and how good we are, and I'm using design as an example, you can apply this to animation or whatever. We want to think about, okay, what is the outcome they want and how do I sell them into that? How do I sell them into that vision? And how do I show them that the process that we have is going to get them that outcome, whether it's me working on the designs or it's Jeff or it's Sandy or whoever, right? So that's the first big thing. It's mindset blockers. So that is part one And they are the kind of subcategories that keep people stuck. Part two, and this again is huge. I mean, they're all huge, hence why I made the video about it. But this one is about hiring. And these are some really fundamental mistakes that I see when I am coaching freelancers and creative agency owners is they hire the wrong people. And when I say the wrong people, I don't just mean bad people. We obviously spoke about this idea just now of hiring up rather than hiring down. So that's one aspect and one kind of mindset shift. But what I mean is they hire the wrong people for their business. So the automatic hire that most people make when they start to get more clients and they want to start growing is they hire another person like them. So if they're a designer, they're like, oh, I need more design help. If they're a video production studio, they're like, oh, we need more camera operators. We need more people on the ground. Now, the reason that's a bad hire is because it creates what I call a top-heavy business where you end up with a huge amount of support on the delivery side. And so the delivery can be like amazing, but you don't have enough support on the development side, which is how you get new business and how you actually find clients. And then the intermediary, which is actually making everything work together. So the operational side of the business. And this is where I see people really struggling. They win a few projects. They're like, oh, great, this is amazing. Things are going really well. They build this team. They've got this incredible delivery team. And then they're stuck there thinking, oh, where's our next project going to come from? And like, how do we actually make this work? And oh God, I've got to go and scramble for sales because they haven't got anyone supporting them in the development. So this is what I think in terms of the businesses I've seen succeed and that I've worked with over the last 10 years. This is what I think the chronological, for want of a better word, hiring process should be, right? So I genuinely believe your first hire should be a virtual assistant. A virtual assistant is worth their weight in gold because I can guarantee right now there are many, many things that you are doing in your business which will be classed as low value tasks, i.e. someone can get paid way less than you to do these things and probably do them better than you. So finding a really good VA who can help manage the day-to-day running of your business, take away some of the admin tasks, take away answering emails, looking at your email inbox, maybe even helping you create some social media content. Like a good versatile VA can free up your time to focus on the high-value tasks in the business. Then once you have that person who understands the business, who understands the day-to-day operations, then you can think about hiring a designer to take some of the design work off your plate. What's some of that stuff that maybe you aren't best at or you don't enjoy or takes a lot of your time but doesn't necessarily give a good return? Could you hire a designer to take most of the design work to free you up to actually run the business? Because this is what this is about, right? It's about going from someone who is like a worker who is just doing the thing to a partner, somebody who is going to be a partner for their clients, somebody who's going to be a business owner, a founder, not just doing the work day to day. And that is one of the key distinctions. And that really is the solution to freedom, to having freedom in your business, is being able to run a business that other people do things for you and you can really focus on high level tasks. You can focus on owning the business, not working in the business. I know that's really cliche, work on the business, not in the business. You've heard it a million times, but are you doing it? That's the question, right? So first a VA, then some help with the implementation, and then someone to help with sales. Now, I just want to give some real world examples here because I've worked with people, a video production agency, for example, who had a business development manager or head of sales, and they were paying them kind of around $80,000 a year and they weren't bringing in many sales, right? So I'm not suggesting like it's so easy to think, oh, as the founder, I don't really like sales. I'm a creative. I don't really like sales. I'm just going to give this to somebody else to do. I do not advise that. I still advise that as the founder, you are doing the sales, i.e. you're jumping on calls with clients, you are, presenting ideas, you're actually doing the sale, but having somebody to manage the day-to-day lead flow and getting some people booked into appointments to speak with you can be one of the biggest leverage pieces. So one of my clients was an audio production agency in London. They were responsible for big projects like the New Year's Eve fireworks. And they were very successful, but they felt as if business development was very much out of their control, and they had quiet periods and they had times where things just weren't really flowing, and it caused them a lot of stress because they had a big team of like 7 or 8 people. And so one of the key things that we helped them to do was we helped them to create this system which brought in conversations and leads daily. And so the system really just booked 15, 20-minute meetings with key partners and higher value clients into the founder's diary. So he didn't have to do anything. He just showed up to work and he was like, oh, I've got a meeting with so-and-so today. And the person he hired was just briefing him on like, oh, this is how I found this person. You know, this is what we agreed. We chatted backwards and forwards, and they said they were looking for X, Y, and Z, and it might be worth you meeting. And here's the context for the meeting. So having someone to be able to do a lot of that groundwork, even if they just start by answering inbound inquiries through your website and learning how to qualify people, that can be one of the most valuable roles. And the great thing about this role is, number one, it can be part-time. Number two, a lot of people in that kind of role are happy with a low base salary plus commission. Because if they're good at what they do and they know how to book appointments, they know how to manage a sales pipeline, they know how to do all of the kind of things that somebody in that role would do, then they're happy with commission because they know that they're going to get paid, right? So try and avoid the trap of paying someone a huge monthly retainer to do that kind of thing, because most people that ask for that genuinely aren't particularly good at what they do, in my experience. The other thing, and I won't go massively into this because it's a whole different video, but AI is now getting to the point where it can do some of that work for you. So it can maybe find some of the people that you should be connecting with. It could even start conversations with them. It can answer inquiries through chat windows and different things like that. So it is worth looking into. I think for a lot of high-end creative businesses, it's not going to be the thing that solves the sales problem in your business, but it might just be something that can reply to an inquiry within the first 10 minutes, which has been shown to significantly increase conversion versus if you're doing something else, you're with a client or you're out on a shoot or whatever, it can actually answer that on your behalf. So that's the process. That's the order that I would hire someone in. VA first, implementation help second, i.e. if you're designer, design, animation, video, right? Someone to help with the implementation, and then someone to help with leads and appointments and help you get more sales. So that's part 2. That's about hiring, and actually hiring maybe the right people just at the wrong time. So it's the order that you hire those people in. Part 3, and we've just touched on this, but it's not having a sales system. And when I say a sales system, I mean something to measure where you are at with your sales. So like a CRM, customer relationship management system. It blows my mind when I first start working with creative agencies. Sometimes these people are doing multiple 6, 7 figures in revenue. They have a team of 8 to 10 people and they don't have a CRM. They're still measuring things on whiteboards in their office or Excel spreadsheets or whatever. There are some great CRMs out there that are pretty cheap, and it's just such a great tool to be able to track things on a daily basis. So when I say a sales system, one of the things I really look for in my sales system is, what is our daily rhythm? What are we doing every single day when it comes to sales to engage with new prospects, to move people through that pipeline? So that's the first thing. And then I'm looking at my CRM and I'm thinking, I'm working out like, what is the average value of a project? So if I put that to each one of these projects and I knew my conversion rate was say 30%, like 30% of the people that I get on a sales call with actually become clients, how much value is currently in my pipeline based on those numbers? And I'm looking at that to then predict what this month could look like. And if it's a lot lower than that, and if it's like, say we need this month to be 50K or 60K, and right now we've only got 30K of business in the pipeline, I know we need to double down on having some conversations. We need to get in front of more people so that we can actually get the right amount of projects in the pipeline. And rather than just kind of using our feeling, which is what a lot of people do, like, oh, it feels good, I feel like I'm quite busy right now, we look at the real numbers. And this was a game changer. Recently, we implemented this system into our coaching business, so like how we work with clients. And so every month people submit their numbers and we can see the data on a on a dashboard. And now they might feel great, but we're like, hold on a minute, this is the amount of leads that you had last month. So it's nice that you're feeling good, but let's address this problem. And vice versa. Sometimes people are panicking. They're like, oh, I don't know where this work's going to come from. I'm like, hold on, like these are all the leads that you've got. These are all the conversations you're having. These are all the proposals that you've made or presentations you've made this month. You need to relax a little bit. Like some of these are going to come off. You've got a good pipeline. So that's really, really useful. And if you bring on a salesperson, they're going to want a tool like that so that you can track these things. So they are the kind of three key areas. They're the three things that I see really preventing people from growing a business and growing it in a way, like I said at the beginning of this video, that gives you freedom, that gives you the ability to pick and choose what you want to work on, that gives you financial stability, that gives you the option to work on cool projects, right? That's what we want. We don't just want a business for the sake of it. We don't want to just replace a 9-to-5 job with another job that has more stress, right? So these three things, first of all, you've got to start thinking about yourself as a business owner rather than just a worker. The second thing is hire in the right order, hire the right people at the right time. And the third thing is implement a sales system into your business. Start taking sales seriously. Start taking lead generation seriously. Don't just hope for the best. Don't just rely on word of mouth and referrals. Actually put a system in place that guarantees that you're going to get a certain amount of work every single month. I hope you found this video valuable. If you are currently looking to grow and scale your business, I've just created a free tool which will actually show you what areas of your business you need to focus on right now. If you want to take that, you can click the link below and you get a free custom scorecard or custom report specifically for your business. My name is Matt Essam. You've been watching The Futur. See you soon.